Marissa, here's a quick overview of some of the feedback that we've been giving these last couple of, well, I guess that I've been giving these last couple of weeks. Because of the shortened schedule, we honestly, and just how early this is in the semester, we honestly don't have a ton of assignments that I've given a lot of feedback on, but we have recently done a couple, so I can show those to you. So you can see like all of our assignments here are pretty much not submitted. So the first one I can show you is some of my student outlines, and this is in Turnitin. And you can see that I try and go through, and these are kind of basic, kind of just basic outlines that they go through the chapter, and so I try and kind of just leave some little comments along the side, and then just something that kind of sums it up at the bottom. Similar things here. So this is a very basic outline assignment. One that probably has a little bit more detail or specific grading is right now they've turned in this references assignment. I'm kind of going through those, and even though this is a smaller point value, it actually has quite a bit of weight because of the way that our class is weighted and because this has to do with their proposal. So in this, students were supposed to turn in 10 references. They're supposed to be in APA format. They're supposed to be from scholarly sources, and they should all be oriented towards the topic that they're going to write their proposal on. Actually, I just noticed another error right there. That this isn't done quite right. So you can see that I can highlight specific things and then leave comments on them. So here, probably the reason I didn't mark everything on here is, oh, see, I actually said the rest of that looks good. A lot of it did look good, but they were putting PhD, MA, so they've been putting people's credentials in there, which we don't do in APA, and then here the page numbers were not quite right. Looks like they'd done similar things here. She needs to write out the Journal of American Academy of Pediatrics or whatever. She needs to write that out rather than just having having just the acronym. There you go. So similar things here. It looks like she's just putting like 152. She needs to put the page range, obviously. So I'll go through and mark some of those items, but what I'm also checking for is to make sure that she has scholarly journals, so Canadian Journal of Public Health, International Journal of Behavior, Nutrition, and Physical Activity. You would be amazed my first couple of semesters how many people I had turning in like Ensign articles, articles from like People magazine. So I've done a lot to really hammer on the fact that these need to be scholarly, and so I go through and I kind of check that, and then I also check to make sure that these all seem to be oriented towards the same topic, because if they have 10 articles but they're all over the place, that doesn't really help them. Sorry. So then I'll kind of write out something. So in this case, I was like, okay, these are the good things. Your articles are oriented towards the same topic. They seem to be from appropriate sources. That's great. There are some errors with your APA, so make sure you can go back through and check that. So let's look at the next person here. So kind of similar, she has some small APA errors that I've marked, and then again I'll come down through and as I've said, my students, now that I hammer this a lot beforehand, they seem to be doing a lot better with the appropriate sources and making sure they're oriented towards the same topic. So a lot of what I'm checking here is APA, but like I said, I do check those items as well, because if they put in a source that's not appropriate, then I need to flag them on it and say, hey, this isn't, actually this one isn't graded yet. That way I can flag them early on at this point and say, hey, these are not appropriate sources, so that they don't get all the way through with their paper and they're turning it into me and I'm like, hey, guess what? 5 of your sources didn't really work for this assignment. So it's kind of a way for us to just be checking in on them throughout the entire assignment and giving them feedback throughout, so that they don't get to the end with a product that doesn't match up with what they needed, what the requirements were. This one, I think, hers was like almost perfect. She did a really good job. Okay, I'll just show you one more. It's pretty basic. And sometimes I will do this too. It looks like she's made the same error in almost every single one. So I'll say, I won't continue to just mark the same error every time. I think you kind of get the point. You have the same error throughout. It looks like maybe you just didn't understand that concept. So now that you know it, you can go back through and make those changes, and it shouldn't be a huge issue for you. It'll be really quickly fixed. So anyway, that's kind of a lot of what I've been grading at this point, and then just their basic things like their discussion boards, and they've had a couple of assignments where they just emailed them in and things like that. So, and you can obviously see those on iLearn 3. So thanks, Marissa.